Hello and welcome to another episode of Top Deck, the series where we take a look at some of the leading TCG deck lists. So this time we have Dan Butcher's second place list from a pre-ban list format event, and despite this he was playing a 60 card deck built specifically for post-ban lists, so there's no grass in this or anything like that. So we're going to run through the list, deciding and the rounds that he played, and then we'll bring on Dan to have a chat about the deck. So we start off with double Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, double Coatless, and triple Overraptor. So this is a slightly bigger Dino lineup than we've seen with a lot of previous 60 card lists, because they had to fit in other stuff instead, like the left arm offerings. Then one Giant Rex, only two Snow, only two Solitaire, one Spirit Master, double Mizuki, and only one Unizombie. So again, a very reduced lineup for the zombies here. Triple Cobra, Scorpio, one Cobra, and triple Limfire. One Glow Up Bulb, one Damage Juggler, one Trick Clown, and double Hat Tricker, which is fairly standard. Then 1000 Blaze for the combo, one Goblinberg as the additional target, and obviously the Garnet for the Brilliant Fusions. Then triple Ghost Digger, triple Droll, and triple Ash Blossom, so very heavy hand trap lineup here. Triple Brilliant, triple Fossil Dig, extra searching for those dinos, triple Gold Sark, triple Call by the Grave as well, then double Evolution Pill, one Foolish Burial, one Soul Charge, one Monster Reborn, one E-Telly, and double Desires here. For the extra deck is running the Utopia package, a Dolka because it's very accessible with the Dino section, a Tornado, Minerva, Dweller in the main, a bit more stunning than we typically see, because a lot of people have been citing this in previous events, but I suppose it might be more relevant now, what with Gookie and Spiral being so big. Then Invoker, Borreload, Curious, Mrs. Radiant, Underclock, and Seraphinite, all basically combo pieces, or I suppose Underclock is a flex slot here. Then for the Synchros, one Black Rose, one Omega, and a Nat Beast, which obviously is makeable with the Bulb. For the side deck, got three different Kaiju, so a Dogoran, Kumongus, and one Gamma-Seal. Then triple Cherries, one Helix, one Isolde, one Electromite, then triple Red Reboot, and triple Evenly Matched. So that's it for the deck itself. For the siding strategy, so we start off with Pendulum Magician, so no changes going first. For going second, putting in the Kaijus, the Cherries, and the Electromites, obviously, we need that as the Cherry target within the deck. Taking out the, looks like most of the Zombie engine, just keeping in the Spirit Master there. Taking out a Cold when going second, because you don't worry so much about hand traps. Your opponent tends to be siding them out, especially in Pendulum where they want to build up a big board. And then taking out the Dweller there as well. For Draco, going first he puts in the Red Reboots because it's a free negate there. Taking out the Call by the Grave because you don't really anticipate your opponent having much in the way of hand traps, especially ones that are going to be able to deal with your deck. They like to side in Cherries, and Cherries isn't normally enough to deal with a 60 card build. So then for going second you need outs for the Masterpiece, so putting in the Kaiju's reboots for the back row and Evenly as basically board wipes. Then taking out the Zombie engine again, Caught by the Graves, and a Bulb for going second. So supposing that your opponent is going to play the Demise when they're going first, that way they won't be playing the hand traps. For against Trickstar, going first, no changes. Going second, putting in the Red Reboots to deal with all the heavy back row and Evenlies to wipe out the boards. Again, taking out the Zombie engine and the Bulb. For Gookie, going first, no changes. Going second, got the Kaijus, Cherries, and Isolde to deal with the big boards that they make and just prevent them from going into anything too crazy. Keep in mind, if they do give you an Ibly, you can't do anything with your Kaiju there, because you won't be able to summon them. Taking out the Nat Beast as well for the Isolde there in the going second. So I guess not worrying so much about the spells. There are just so many monster effects that get their combos going. Against Spiral, no changes going first, going second, very similar to the Gookie lineup, except we change Helix for Isolde. Then for Altergeist, going first you want the free reboots, taking out the Drolls there because they don't tend to add too much in a single turn, it's normally just once. With the Meliseek or with the Spoofing, doesn't tend to be both. For going second, you need basically the ability to deal with the big boards, and also putting the dog around in Gamma Seal. Essentially, this is a nice way to deal with Hextier or something like that. And you really want to take out the draws, so you need something to put in instead of the dead cards in your deck. For Invoked, no changes going first. Going second, putting in the Kaijus and the Reboot. Because you anticipate that if they're going first, they're going to be setting like a Dimension Barrier or something like that. Again, we see the Zombie Engine come out. It seems to be his least favourite. And in the Mirror, so the 60 card Dino, no changes going first. Going second, putting in the board wipes and the cherries to be able to take out the key targets that they're going to be going for, and taking out the zombies for this. So that's it for the siding strategy. And for the rounds that he played, so we'll start off with round 1. He went up against Gookie 1-2-0. Game 1, his opponent put up a fairly strong board with Trigate and a bunch of Nightmares and hand traps as well. So Dan managed to hit the firewall with an Ogre. His opponent had a Reborn, and then he just managed to bait out all of the negates and then still establish Conductor, which basically clears the board and wins the game. Game 2, he resolved Ash on the Isolde, leaving his opponent with a very sub-power board, which he could just basically lock his opponent out after that. Round 2 against 40 card Dino, so we won this 2-1. His opponent won the die roll, but still made him go first. So initially he thought it was invoked. His hand was a little bit odd, but he managed to end on something crazy like Conductor, Dogger, and Omega with a Snow Spirit Master loaded in the grave. So just punishing his opponent's choice. He lost game 2 because he forgot about Jurassic World's attack debuff. Apparently he couldn't read that bit. Game 3 he opened the plant combo, partially disrupted by a Gamma on a coatless search, but the board quality was still really hard for his opponent to deal with. Round 3 he did actually go up against Invoked Mech Knight, winning this 2-1. Game 1 was apparently won by a dirty turn 1 Call by the Grave on his opponent's graveyard-bound Alistair, which he couldn't resolve the fusion for, so he had to reveal 3 copies of Ghost Ogre in hand with a lone Underclock on the field, and Dolka made short work of this very simplified game state. So Game 2, he finally hit the 3% and drew the Garnet. He passed for 3 turns, waiting for a play that he was actually able to do something with, and obviously his opponent was unable to put enough damage on board because of Mech Knight, so they have to, basically they have everything dead until you start playing. Then Game 3, Dan actually lost Game 2 because he ended up with a bunch of bad dead cards within his hand, and he just couldn't be able to play through hand traps and things like that. So Game 3, he made his opponent go first, and then OTK'd him, didn't even need Call by the Grave. For round 4 against Trickstar, he won 2-0, nothing much to say. Candina is apparently very small and scared of Mrs. Radiant, let alone Ultimate Conductor. Round 5 against Trickstar again, won this 2-0, Minerva Mills was silly. Otherwise, basically the same as the previous round. Round 6 against Trickstar, he won this 2-1. Went up against Dale Hawks, a fellow purple shirt. Followed the general trend of the previous 2 rounds against Trickstar, aside from a notable Mirror Force for 5, and Game 2 where he unavoidably got Reincarnation Draw loot. So Game 3 was also fairly unforgettable, because Glow Up milled Coatless for maximum sack, creating a board that he didn't even realise was possible. For round 7 he went up against Gookie. This is his last 1-2. So game 1 he began and resolved a full plant combo for the game, not much to say there. Game 2 his opponent had Call by the Grave for the Ash and proceeds to go crazy. Expecting an extra link board and going off the general quality of his hand, Dan decided to scoop this game and immediately go into game 3, where his opponent resolved an Ash on his Scorpio, which he believes was a little bit strange, and he thinks that if he had a Brilliant Fusion then his opponent would have been severely punished, but sadly he didn't, so the best that he could do was end on a Nat Beast withdrawal in hand and hope that it was enough, but it wasn't. So his conclusion from the event, he said overall the deck was really great proof of concept. It could play through a lot of things, and it could set up crazy boards without the need for grass. With work it could easily compete in the new format, especially if Trickstar spikes in popularity, because of the new end-of-match procedure rules, and he believes that the build needs a little bit of tidying up, so he needs to invest some more time and theory into it. But that's just his comments in his report, but let's get his actual comments in person by calling him up. Hi Dan, how are you doing?
Hi there man, how are we doing?
Good, thanks. Congratulations on getting second place at Huddersfield.
Thanks very much.
How did you find the event?
It was really chilled out, really good event. I especially love the size of the event hall, like with the 3 floors. Huddersfield is like a really beautiful place to be.
Okay, yeah.
It's just so well run as well, and Connor being head judge, he was excellent as always. So can't complain.
Yeah, that's what you want. Nice venue, nice staff.
Yeah, it's just a full package, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Sure. Okay, so you decided to play 60 card with the new ban list up and running, so no grass in here.
Well, not just yet. Well, yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, your list was based on it, right?
Yeah, I was practicing for the next format. I decided no grass because, well, I just wanted to. It was like a proof of concept. I just wanted to see if it would still work.
Yeah.
Turns out it does. Blank combo can get you quite far, apparently.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna run through the list itself then, picking up on things that maybe are a bit different from the kind of list that we've seen before on the channel then.
Sure.
So the first thing, you put them at the front, so that makes it really easy. You've got a slightly bigger dinosaur lineup than everyone else.
Really?
Who's come on the channel before? Yeah, I think beforehand, I don't think we've ever had like double conductor, double coatless, and the Oviraptors in here.
Oh, that's interesting.
Except maybe in we did have a Shadol 60 card Dino with no light spawn stuff in it at all.
Yeah. That would be that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, like the bigger engine. I guess it's just because I really like the dinosaurs. It's like the entire reason I'm actually playing the deck.
Yeah. You can play dinos.
Like, you gotta play dinos. Ultimate Conductor will literally get you everywhere, and Quatless is like... it's like, even its spell negation effect is like really relevant in loads of situations. Like, Evo Pill is just so busted.
Yeah.
And being able to like mix Giant Rex and Snow, like, with so much access, because you can just force it off the Oviraptor in loads of situations, it's just got so much utility.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, they are the win condition, so
okay.
I reckon you should run a fair number of them.
So would you then, going ahead, do you think you would keep it at the same lineup, or do you think you'd max out on them so that you get closer? If that's your win condition, do you think you need to max out on it or not?
I feel like this is like the perfect ratio, just because it's got enough where you have like the longevity over a grind game, but not so much that you don't brick. Like, okay. You know, the sometimes but not all the time sort of thing.
Yeah.
That sort of mathematics. And then, like, I did consider at some points, like, umping Giant Rex up, but promptly got talked out of the idea, just because you've got so much access to it, with, like, Goldsark and Oviraptor, so it didn't feel that necessary in the end. But, I don't know, that was, like, the line I was very, very happy with.
Okay, sure. And so you mentioned this whole sometimes but not all the time logic, which seems to continue a little bit, because you're running
Yeah,
2 Snow, 2 Solitaire. Do you think you don't need them? Is that, like, you've got... Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay. Yeah, Snow... I mean, I ripped this one straight out of Jess Jones' book, so, like, I can't really... I think he explained it better, but, like, now that grass is gone as well, like, the only time you're ever seeing Snow is if you hit it off the minion, when you just send it direct from deck.
Yeah.
And, aside from that, it's like a mediocre normal summon.
Mm-hmm.
So I just play the most I can get away with, least I can get away with, I mean.
Yeah.
So, like, if I was to Desires one and I don't have access to Omega to put it back in my graveyard, then, like, I want to have at least one left in deck.
Yeah, sure.
So, but seeing all 3 is a little bit unnecessary, because you're only ever going to be playing around with one anyway, especially now that grass is gone as well, because you're not going to have as many resources for pulling, like, just doing stupid stuff with this card anymore. Same with the zombie engine, really, because, like, the zombie engine was just like a bit like a supplement. Mm-hmm. It was sort of like in the background to dinosaurs. You wanted a really good additional normal summon, and you wanted the access to the zombie engine, because, like, Spirit Master is just so damn important.
Yeah.
Like, so much good disruption from that card.
So then, I guess the plant engine is then still super important. Especially if you can max out on it.
Like, best normal summon in the entire deck.
Yeah.
Like, this bit doesn't need explaining. It's just the plant engine.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you don't see the Cobra or the Garnet, you're just doing things.
Yep.
People aren't stopping you. And I'm not gonna lie, Scorpio is really good Ash bait, because in quite a lot of situations, like maybe a less informed player will actually Ash that card, and then you'll still be holding the Brilliant Fusion, and you just punish them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people should know that's by now. Like, you always hit the Brilliant Fusion, but
Yeah.
There will be times where that thing gets hit, and you're just like, I don't care. And I think my favorite plant by far was Glow Up Ball, though.
Yeah.
That thing was it just fixed things, and it just helped. Like, you can...
Yeah, it's like extra curious access, it's your Nat Beast.
Yeah, it is my Nat Beast. Oh my goodness, Brandish Maidens, when they come out, boy. I'm so excited. But, yeah, super consistent, super easy to get to, and it just does so much for what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much else to say on plants.
Yeah, sure. I mean, also the Magician lineup's fairly standard.
Yeah.
And then usual, and then into hand traps. So you went with 9 hand traps, which
Ooh.
it's a lot. I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, when you get rid of grass and left arm offering, you have a lot of space to play with.
Yeah. Just fill those up with more hand traps.
Yeah, like it feels like we're going into one of those formats again, especially with like Goki and Spiral like coming into the fray. Like, all those hand traps are like really good in those matchups, as long as you know the correct things to hit. Like, Droll and Lockbird is like, it's like Max C from Days of Old, where it just end the turn.
Yeah.
And then Ash, there's nothing to say about Ash. Ash is amazing. And then Ogre, just like hitting a Firewall Dragon with a Ghost Ogre is like just this blowout.
So much value. My 1 card for your 4.
I mean, there was this one in game 1 where I actually Ogre did. He had the Monster Reborn because he drew it off the Cerberus, and I was like, are you actually kidding me? But like,
Yeah.
the concept was there. But yeah, they all have their purpose. I couldn't say which one's the best.
Okay. You put it up to 3 gold stock. Typically we see 2 or 1. Was 3 good for you?
It was like a really good power card in most situations. Like, just because I mean, going through the tournament report, like, I made Dolka so much, and it was basically just because of that card.
Yeah.
And the access you had to Spirit Master to just pop things, or Solitaire to bring back Spirit Master in most circumstances, it was just...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why you would ever not play something so powerful at less number.
Yeah.
And you kind of have the room now as well, so... It's like never a brick either, because there are situations where you can literally just wait out for 2 turns and then get whatever you want.
Yeah.
that did happen, strangely enough. Like, it's just really good.
Yeah, sure.
Couldn't complain.
Yeah, okay. And then you got Caught by the Graves for hand traps, because obviously you don't want your combo to be hand trapped at the wrong point.
Again, it's a bit like, I know I said the hand trap sort of replaced like the grass engine, so this is basically your new version of Left Arm Offering.
Yeah.
Because if they were ever to ash the combo, you just drop that and search grass. In this case, now you just hope you have this, and then you just stop them from stopping the combo.
Yeah, sure.
It's like a walking DD crowing turn 1 as well. So like,
yeah,
well,
you get to
walking,
bait snows and stuff in the mirror.
Yeah, it just does a lot of things if you be smart about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And then the rest of the deck, pretty much standard. I mean, you've got an E-Telly here. So is that for Black Rose plays? Or?
that might well be for the Black Rose plays. Yeah, it was just a little bit of I again had more space to play with, so I was like, might as well just have the 4th Ghost Ogre.
Yeah.
Seems legit.
Yeah, sure.
Didn't do me wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
There was one time where Scorpio got ashed, and I managed to E-Telly into the Ogre and then make the Invoker from that.
Alright.
Which was pretty silly. That's never coming up again, by the way.
Yeah.
But
sorry, you did it the one time. That's enough.
Yeah, that's it. We're good.
Cool, okay. And then you went with 2 Desires instead of 3. Is this because you don't like having the 3rd one in the deck, or...
Oh,
I imagine it's not space.
No. I don't like it. I don't like Desires, but you have to play it. So
Yeah.
I know it's sort of like it flips everything I spoke about earlier on its head, but like, I don't want to be playing the card. You just sort of have to. So I was like, okay, we'll just play the minimum amount I can get away with again.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's a weird balance because people always say you should play it in 60 card, but you are playing the deck where you're most likely to actually banish a thing that ruins your combo.
yeah, it's like there's like so many important one-off pieces, and you just like, I really don't want to like shotgun this. It's really good after you've resolved like a full combo. Like it's just insane. And it's good for ash baiting again, but like that cost, you've got to be wary of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very heavy, and if you're resolving 2 in one game, like there's something very wrong.
Yeah.
Like you've either been sat there for way too long, or just nothing's happening. So
yeah, sure.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's it for the main deck then. Are there any changes following the event that you'd make to it?
I've not really decided yet. I still want to see how the meta shapes up a little bit more, because obviously it was sort of built to play against both types. So there's still like Magician things and Draco, and then the Goki and Spiral. So I don't know where it's all going to level out, what hand traps are going to be relevant. I'm just going to have to wait and see, and then adapt when it comes. But
yeah,
for now, it just did everything it needed to do, and I definitely don't miss grass. Like the extra room is actually so useful.
Mm-hmm. Move on to the extra deck for now then. So you've got a lot of these sort of like removal cards with the Utopia Lightning, Tornado, stuff like that. But you've also got some of the more sort of stun-based cards, I guess. So you've got obviously Dolka, which is insane. Like, it's crazy.
God, what, like, so many people were asking if I could negate twice in one turn. I was like, how many materials does it have? And it's just like, Dino Rabbit, this was always the better card. So
yeah. I think the most fun thing is when people don't realize you can do it twice on the same chain, and then it's just like,
they chain a Ghost Ogre to Dolka, and then you're just like, no, Ghost Ogre. He's just gonna sit there all cheery and happy. I love how happy he looks, by the way, just like off topic. There's one happy dinosaur dragon thing.
Cool. Okay. So for the side deck then, so most of this is pretty standard. One thing I was going to say is we had another 60 card list on a while back which ran triple Dogoran instead of like varied kaijus.
Ooh, that's quite interesting.
And it was basically for the exact same thing that you said you did with double Evos, that you can bring out Dogoran with it. Plus it's searchable with Overraptor, so if you've used up one of your kaiju, you still have access to another.
Yeah, I can get that, but like, I'm of the opinion that Dogoran is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would want to like, I don't think I'd ever want to max it like in that sort of situation. Like, just having one of each of the 3 means if you ever like draw into like multiple copies of them, you can just attack over one. It's never an issue for you.
Yeah, sure.
Having the one Dogoran to search up Overraptor is like insanely good, but you're never really going to be searching it that often.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's more like a mentality thing. If you summon Overraptor and they've got like a masterpiece face up, you want them to be thinking that you're going to search Dogoran.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, no, the different flavors of kaiju are all really good. So
okay, sure. So for the rest of the side deck then, I mean, mostly it's pretty like it's all just solid. You've got removal for you've got cherries for taking out any deck that's super reliant on the extra. Red Reboot for all of the back row decks, and then evenly to just punish anything that assembles a board.
Oh boy, so many fell to that.
Yeah. Well, they're probably not thinking, oh, he's going to draw his 3 of in a 60 card deck.
Yeah, well, happens, doesn't it? Statistical probability. I'm going to draw it. It's like that 3% I draw Garnet. Like, I saw it like 3 times a month.
Well,
that's only. Yeah, that's like unironically like the lowest percentage possible. So,
yeah,
no, you will see them at some point. It is obviously less common, but then that's just, I feel like that's kind of what sideboard's for anyway, just like to give you a little bit extra edge.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
As long as the main board's solid enough, you can get away with siding most things.
Yeah, sure.
I think there was only like one thing I was like really iffy on in the side, and that was probably the Azode.
Okay.
Because I'm wholly convinced that it should be Firewall Dragon instead.
Okay. Yeah. Is that because they have to put so many bodies on board to make Firewall, so it doesn't matter if you've assembled your own board?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Yeah, like I think it's because Azode obviously starts the combo, but like Firewall is the thing that sort of like finishes it.
Yeah.
Gets it, sends it over the top.
Yeah.
So it's like if you take away access to that card, I feel like the boards are easy enough to disassemble with my cards anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm still gonna think it all over. I'm gonna do some more testing against Goki. It's one of those weird ones. So I might have been right the first time around. It's a working theory. Obviously,
yeah, sure.
Electromite's coming out now. We don't need that thing.
Okay, sure. Alright then, so have you got any shoutouts you want to make?
Obviously I want to shout out Team Harlequins, because go team. I want to shout out Tristan and Matt for testing with me so much. It was like really awesome of them. They told me everything I needed to know about it.
Yeah.
Well, the matchups anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously everyone at Huddersfield, really good event. Yourself. Definitely yourself.
Sorry.
Make sure to plug that one there. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Oh,
cool.
Oh wait, no.
Nope.
Dolka, we're gonna plug Dolka. My boy.
Shoutouts to this happy boy.
Yeah, the really happy boy.
Cool. Well, thanks very much for coming on, and congratulations with your top place. And hopefully we'll see you again in the future.
No, thank you very much, dude. It's appreciated.
Thanks for watching this episode of Top Deck. If you have any comments or suggestions that you would like to make, leave them in the comment section down below. Check out the description for details of how you can get involved in this series. You can enter by voice interview, or instead you could just send all of your information over Facebook Messenger. Anything like that will be absolutely fine. If you want to see anything in particular from the upcoming series, then be sure to get in touch, and I'll see you guys in the next video.